The fact that they had their split one immediately cut off pretty early into that split was pretty
True.
sad to see. So now we're getting to take a look at Weibo on the blue side. Some interesting champions that I'm now kind of taking a look at is the AD carry pool, mostly because Hope has been so reliant on the Kaisa and the Jinx.
I could see a little bit of variation in what we're gonna get at least. You see the bans at the bottom, or at least the picks at the bottom of your screen. Those are the game one picks that are not available for the rest of the series here in Fearless. We did get that Nefiri ban by Weibo, first ban on the blue side since they will be on the blue side for this next game. Though it is literally the Varus and the Callista to be banned afterwards. Very similar bans to all the other times, at least the last game for the Vi and the Lilia from AL.
Okay, so is this going to be the Gwen or is this going to be the Rumble? Two champions that did get banned in that last game, and we didn't get to see kind of the reverse of that. AL taking their sweet time. Personally, I think you should be willing to get rid of the Rumble because, or the Gwen. I think Breathe on Gwen has been a monster to deal with in a lot of these games. So, going to be interesting to see as Weibo now get their first pick. We could go for either of those top laners, or we could be looking in the jungle particularly.
The fact that this might actually make it through is a big ticket item here for Breathe. We saw last series, the first pick Rumble ended up paying dividends. This time around, Breathe going to be on that one and try to figure out how to make this impactful, how to get these team fights set up and potentially a winning condition through top lane.
Okay. I mean, AL have a lot of options in terms of wanting to either snap up their AD carries. Ezreal is good for now. It does mean that for Weibo, they have been kind of the team that will be able to or willing to play range with you, especially things like the Caitlyn that we saw from Light for multiple different series throughout the years. But getting that Sin
It's a
Zhao,
big
another great
takeaway.
champion to, it also is a great like pseudo frontliner, right? Just having that crescent sweep just means you are immune to a lot of damage.
And it's also like one of those big skirmish heavy junglers that is like the only one available on the table right now since Vi was banned away, and then we got those plays last time around from the Poppy and the Sejuani. Really curious at what that answer is going to be this time around for Tian. You know he wants some resources in the jungle to be able to contest against Tarzan. We saw heavy 1v1 focus in there. The Yone is going to be grabbed for Weibo, so you have to find success with these solo lanes that you've grabbed already.
And this just feels weird. Like, why didn't we do this in the last game when we had Sejuani, right? We don't have an exact pair for that. Maybe they go for another engaged jungler here, especially when we're talking about for Tian. Pantheon could be something that they could look for. Instead, they want to try to make sure that they have an AD carry that's going to be able to fight in the laning phase and then, just sit in mid and be a veritable force by herself. So, really big team fight wombo coming in from Weibo already with these 3 first picks.
There's just setting up for the potential that can be around those team fights. I'm very curious now how AL want to pick that apart, though, because it does seem like they have some tools of their own to really upset that. They just went full pedal to the metal last time around, and it worked out for them. They're going to grab the Akali for Shanks here, too.
Okay, so putting some threat onto the back line of Rumble and Misfortune. Coming into the back end of this draft, I do think that Alistar in particular gets a lot of value here from the side of Weibo and being able to get into the back line. Also, Leona for trying to just stop Light whenever he goes for that bullet time.
It's going to be the Maokai first ban by AL, so trying to take away some of those setup tools by Tian, also giving that man the saplings and stuff. He will just find so many annoying ways to be effective. So at least I like that jungle focus for them going into that second phase. At least for Weibo, they're going to ban away more of those top lane matchups. The Gwen, first and foremost, to come off the table.
I'm still kind of liking the Pantheon here for Tian. I know it's a champion that is starting to fall to the wayside. Good shout from AL, although they're the ones to get rid of the Leona, so maybe setting up for a particular matchup. I think maybe looking at a Rakan here for Kael. Playing Ezreal Rakan would definitely free up a lot of space and gives them a lot of snap potential when we're talking about playing with a Sin Zhao and the Akali.
Ooh. Take away the double poke bot lane and the Karma setup for the Ezreal. Also a lot of sustained and a lot of good combos with the Karma and the Xin Zhao there. Still a lot of good tools from the supportive role to be on the table for both sides, because obviously Weibo is still going to need their combo with the Misfortune. This would be a really nice takeaway from that combo as well. but giving them a little bit more breathing room here and potentially going with this Aurora. So we'll have the double AP solo lanes coming through from AL.
And there's that counter pick for support that we kind of mentioned in the top of show. So Flandre with another Aurora top game. It'll be his 3rd so far. And now for Weibo. Oh, please, please. I've been waiting for this, bro. Yes! Tian was one of our best Ivern players here, and now he gets a Yone, he gets a Misfortune. All right, Lennon. Maybe we do have 5. Maybe we do got another game here.
We're going to 3 games, bro.
Oh,
we're going
no.
3 games. First and foremost, LPL players lose their mind when they play against Ivern because they have no idea what he does. I'm also just looking at this, and I'm like, why didn't you take the Alistar on 4? Why did you go for the Aurora instead of it? And now giving a ton of that Wombo combo setup, the Alistar headbutt pulverized to add into it. So very curious decision-making here by AL. We said at the top of the day, though, they have fluctuated a little bit. Sometimes they don't perform to that level, and maybe Weibo trying to pick up on that a little bit and get us to that 3rd game.
Yeah, and I wonder what setup Flandre is going to be going for, because a lot of, the other person that has been playing Aurora top, the Shy, has been more so opting for a lot of the electrocute builds, but Grasp the Undying has been popular. For AL, I do favor their team a lot earlier on. When you look at the solo lanes, they have a lot easier jobs of being able to whittle away at the Yone and the Rumble. But as this game goes on, I really do favor what we see from the side of Weibo. I mean, the fact that you have this Ivern who is going to be so obnoxious and being able to stop kills, have a really cheap build path, I think this is a great setup for the side of Weibo to take us to 3.
God, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what we get between Tian and Tarzan. You have to remember, at that level 3 mark, these guys spent like 5 minutes just tussling around the jungle. It's so much fun, and now we get this different iteration from Tian as well. And I'm very curious. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. Take over, Alk. No, it's gone away. Speaking about it, maybe go away. And maybe speaking about anyone's legend, going 2-0, this made it go away. And Weibo can bring it out, get us the 3 games with this very curious but stable comp. Focused around those objectives, focused around that team fighting and the Wombo combo that it can provide. I love this response from Weibo. I wanted them to have clear direction. I wanted them to have clear strategies to execute, and now they just got to live up to it.
Hey, Ivern has been a champion that has been missing here in the LPL, and it's good to see one of our best Ivern players bring it out here in a do-or-die situation of the series.
Did you see that fan? The person next to them wasn't cheering, so they went to tell them to cheer. I love that.
Yep.
Keep telling people to cheer.
Yes.
That's the stuff we love. Jayo is still ringing loud for these 2 teams, though. Rightfully so. On paper, this should be one of the best matches of the week. But Weibo not having lived up to the expectations put on them. This is a step in the right direction with their comp. They need to take a step in the right direction in this series. You don't want to start 1-3, even if you have 18 series to play.
Okay, so time to check out for Weibo how they can get through this early game relatively unscathed. When we look at 15, 18 minutes, not down too much. I think you're perfectly fine with where Weibo are. Also, how many grubs are they going to have access to? Because I think when you look at the side of AL, while they have some side lane potency, I think you really, as Weibo, want to try to leverage the fact that you have a Rumble and you have this Yone as this game goes on. So, going to be very important for AL, tracking where Tian is, maybe disrupting some of his early pathing, and how are we going to get around a champion like Ivern? Because it can be so difficult for some of the lower ranged abilities of AL.
I just want to see how much impact Tian's Ivern's going to have. One of the more niche things that Tian has been willing to whip out here in 2025. It's showing personal character growth, you know? It's been really, really fun to see. Obviously, this jungle matchup taking a premier spot in this head-to-head. As level 2 Shattering Strikes go just a bit wide by Kael, but they did end up getting level 2, so push will be in favor of AL in the bot side, as the jungler, at least for Tarzan, will be pathing up towards that top side. Tian will path back around towards this bot side.
Yep, if you're unfamiliar, Ivern does have to, he doesn't kill any of the jungle camps, he becomes friends with them. And for some reason, when he becomes friends with them, he trades HP, and then after a little bit of gestating period, they just disappear. They just stop being friends.
It sounds like a parasitic relationship. I don't know.
It kind of is. I mean, look what happens. They die, bro. They give him all of his gold and the XP, and they do it for free. So,
but he gives them his health. That was close.
Hope gets to have a bit of a nice recall here. He'll get the tier.
Oh, cheater
probably
recall?
Get back without. Yes, that did change. Remember, with all the minions moving around. So we are kind of seeing already that AL's laners are taking some of Weibo's to task. So need to see a little bit more. Again, we're looking at some early objectives. We need to see early game objectives started for AL if they want a chance of being able to stay competitive here.
A little bit of hover to mid lane. I was waiting to see if Tian was actually going to commit to something, but the big thing here is you have two mid laners who are heftily trading their health for these early trades between the two, and Shanks in a much better position early on. Also in the CS department, he is being hovered over there by Tarzan. Tian not going to be around either. Did get the reset by Tarzan, but Tian looking to be a little aggressive on this Ivern pick.
Maybe they try to make something happen towards the bottom side. I think this is more importantly just to make sure that, oh, Tian, please be very careful here. It's got to be, honestly, it's because he landed that Q, there was a world where Hung just jumps over that wall, getting into auto attack range, and they just try to find something onto Kael, but said they're not going to go for it for now.
Trying to bait out shattering strikes with Tarzan right behind him. Hung's in trouble. Gonna have to flash out. Light almost dying to Hope too, but Hope comes around the corner. Hung! Oh man, that is a way to make the leaky sink sing. And that's going to be massive as now in mid lane. Tian trying to get some focus on the Shanks. Shanks getting low. Shanks hit by the barbs. And now one more. Oh my god. Shanks gets out. This is devastating for Weibo.
Well, now Tian is coming towards the bottom side of the map. Alistar is as well, but is it going to be in time? Light, you got barrier.
Somebody please. Oh, they get the kill back. They get the kill back. Okay. Light will at least get something for his troubles as Tian and Hung just show up to see his body crumpled under the turret.
Yeah, but now you look, you press tab, enemy jungler has 100% KP out of 2. Your bottom lane opponent also got himself a kill and an assist, so you missed out on that wave. Really smart stuff coming in from anyone's legend. Again, destabilize the map and try to make this as tough a game as possible. You are a psychopath.
Bro, what is happening right now? Absolutely tough to watch as Hung throws himself under the turret and Kael picks up that easy kill.
I don't even know what to say. I feel like I just got rel-queued in the face.
What do you I don't even what do you say?
So he's trying to delay the back. So he's trying to delay the back so that Kael won't be in time for these grubs. But at the very least, you could just use your Ignite, man. Just use your Ignite, man. Just who can? I mean, yes, she has the shield. What are we doing this for? Like,
it's
we're
the
just creeping our AD carry,
pickup.
Man.
It's the interaction from the pickup.
Okay, well, you know, Light's just like, cool, dude. You know, I had Crisp do this to me for a couple years, and now I get Hung. Great, dude. It feels nice.
It just feels so bad. It just feels so bad because Hung has
we are two marksman players cringing at this right now. So
he's had some really tough series so far with Weibo. Now Xiaohu is about to get outplayed by Shanks. Replace you, my sir? No, can't do it. Doesn't end up getting killed. Gets everything out of Xiaohu and didn't even have to burn his flash. Shanks showing the old man the ropes here as AL gonna go ahead and get the 3 grubs too.
And that's going to be more gold here going over to Shanks. It's going to be those grubs, like you were saying. It's so tough for Light to be able to walk up on the wave. He's just going to have to catch it underneath his turret. Great stuff from AL here in the early game, and they can still move over to this bottom lane by leveraging a lot of the priority granted to them by Shanks in that 1v1 versus Xiaohu.
All right, Shanks now on the Akali is going to be able to do despicable things. Has a massive CS differential over Xiaohu. And truly has been the come up of a century, it feels like, for this guy. on anyone's legend. He's been such a crucial part to how they win games. Not only, again, finding that utility out of mid lane, finding those big util picks that can enable Tarzan, that can enable Hope, but then when he gets to turn it on, he go ahead and shows out as well. So Shanks deserves a ton of props, and Flandre about to deserve a ton of focus from Weibo and co. They aren't bringing anybody else, so this is a little bit tricky.
You also have the invisibility, you have the between worlds. I think this is really dicey. Oh, you missed the Q as well. Get me out. I mean, Kael's here. Tian, it's been nice, bro.
Oh, no. Okay, he gets out with the flash. He's away. He's alive.
They lose the dragon, though. Like,
they do lose the dragon.
Dude. Oh, Tian, no. Wait. Mickey, this is great. It's 6-0 today. Yes.
Oh God, I don't know. I'm gonna hold on my reservations.
Yep, I
to that just yet. But I do. There might be a sinking
giving our producer hope, dog.
Giving our producer hope. Mickey, hold your hope, and maybe don't, because then that'd be holding a person named Hope. Xiaohu, he's in trouble. So Tarzan and Shanks. I mean, we go back to that conversation. Remember? Oh, fate sealed in. Shanks actually might die here. Xiaohu showing him how to do it now, too. Yep. Give a little bit of rebuttal back to Shanks' dominant force in the mid lane. Hope dodging out, but can't do it. Now Light with no mana, still trying to pump him down. Is not going to end up finding Hope, so he makes it out alive. And Xiaohu going to be the focus yet again. Tarzan going to find him. Xiaohu, his old jungler, coming back for a vengeance here. He still will not go down. He's a stubborn old man. He's a stubborn old Tiger King.
Well, you know, he's also been able to at least recoup some of this loss that he had individually from the matchup. But, yeah, Shanks not landing. That shuriken flip does make it a bit difficult for him to find the bounce back onto Xiaohu into that turret. This wastes a lot of their time, but you look at what they're able to grab. Shanks, brother, got to be careful. Should see Tian here now.
See Emperor Palpatine in his future.
Like you were talking about, though, Tarzan probably has a few things to say to his former team. You know, got brought on in summer, and he's like, "Hey,
he brought them to Worlds, all right. That man deserves no hate for that roster."
And then you just boot me for Tian. Okay, all right, cool. You know what? Fine. I'll show you. I'll make you do a couple internationals, and you can stay home.
Tarzan trying to have a little bit of a renaissance for his career. Again, in a place he feels very comfortable and confident in. This AL team with Tabe at the helm in the coaching staff. And this team has a lot of room to grow in this split and a lot of room to show off in the internationals that we have on the table coming through. But Weibo, they're still in this thing. Got a 1.5K deficit, but their composition will become strong. And we said so much about their wombo combo, so much about their objective setup. Those first 3 Grubs, it did go the way of AL, but now Weibo want to try to contest over the next set, are now getting engaged on by Tarzan, who's just chunking Tian. Kael has to get out, but bullet time will end his life. Light has used his bullet time, though, and that's a lot of damage out. Shanks not going to hit the shuriken flip because of Hung going to burn the flash. Daisy getting a little bit low. They really want to take Daisy out. They do so. And the rest of AL now in full force around this Grub fight will look to take all 6.
Ooh, and now Aurora is going to be matching here. This is a pretty big advantage here for Weibo. Even with Xiaohu getting a little bit of damage and chip away at this turret, it does mean that Weibo will always have a numbers advantage as long as Xiaohu is willing to teleport. So it'll be the split of Grubs here. That catch on to Kael, I didn't quite see how they got it set up. It just seemed like a lot of blatant damage coming in from Light and Hung. So, they actually give this up.
Yeah,
they don't want to lose that wave on top lane.
Go ahead and move, breathe back over there. They did take the 1, so it won't be full Grubageddon, as I like to coin it. The Grubba almost geddon. We're very, very close. That'll be
5 to 1 is still pretty OP.
No, absolutely. I think it's a little bit difficult with the comp you have, but some of the siege potential can be there, especially with the range of Hope. Xiaohu looking for a side lane pick on the Flandre, but this is Xiaohu's prime. This is where he feels the most confident and comfortable in. His side lane prowess has been what has made him such a deadly solo laner.
And now we're looking at these item completions. I think big one for me is this Sundered Sky for Tarzan, also the Trinity Force here for Hope. So coming into this fight, I think as Weibo, unless you're able to really cheat out one more item, maybe if Tian was able to get that last item before this fight, there is potential for them to look for it, but I just don't think in terms of damage you really want to try to play up against this. Just play for your side lanes. They're already playing a 5-grub team, so if they're doing Dragon, that does give you time to knock at least maybe another plate down or push out these lanes in a fashion that makes it difficult for them to use their grubs for the time being.
How are we feeling about that stack and win condition for Weibo? They are full committing onto this bot side of the map, about 15 seconds for that next Dragon to spawn, but we said so much about them. Comes to that second, to that third item spike. A little bit more proactivity needed from AL's side of things. Are they still sitting pretty?
I like where AL are standing right now. For Weibo though, I mean you've also got good items here, right? Like Blade of the Ruin King, Light. You still have this core of a team fight. I just need to see Breathe in there with the team, because with an equalizer, I think you just make this game so much harder to play for AL.
See, now they're all collapsing around this Dragon side of the map. Prio in mid, very important for this one. Get good positioning. The Dragon already started up by Tian, and using the strength that this team fight composition can have. It is on vision, but the Dragon getting lower and lower. Tarzan not willing to commit his body, but they might have caught Light. Light has no space being there. Will have to burn his flash, but maybe that overextension was just a bait. They fully 100-0 Tarzan. He's going down into the bullet time. In a big catch by Weibo. Breathe on the back line now, coming in with the flame spitter. Has to immediately flash away. The rest of AL, they will be fine for now. That was a little bit of a bold TP from Breathe. But Weibo find the pick.
And with Xiaohu's sweep, that makes it impossible for Tarzan to actually use his Crescent ultimate. So Crescent Guard never goes off. He never is able to get away from the bullet time. And you see these gold differentials between these champions. I think it's just not meaningful enough here. Weibo now picking themselves up a Dragon and potentially even looking towards a Herald in a minute's time. Now, Light here, I think, obviously moves up a little too forward. He lost his flash beforehand, but it's this sweep right here that just prevents him. He's knocked up. He can't get out of here. And I think the problem for this fight was that Shanks had just recalled, so you're always going to be at a numbers disadvantage because Breathe can teleport.
We come back into live, a hefty 2v2 between the Weibo and AL's bot side of the map, at least for now. But, man, it's just so... I can already see the iteration of this Weibo team that is so hard to crack, right? Like, you cannot just easily take down any singular member of this team.
No, for sure. I mean, even if they're by themselves, I think the only thing you kind of maybe have going for you is the fact that the solo lanes for AL do kind of win the 1v1s as the game goes on. But Breathe. Oh,
Breathe is in a little bit of trouble. The 1v1 turns into a 2v1, and Shanks will pick up that side lane gold, gets his first kill of the game.
Oh, we're teleporting away from this. I would think that AL having 5 grubs would want to play for the early Rift Herald, but instead they're just putting pressure on the map. They're saying, cool, if you take this Rift Herald, you're going to lose a lot on the game here. Shanks
sees the flash. He needs to get out of this one. Gets out after the edge of that headbutt pulverize. Goes just a little bit wide.
Light's
and now
just dead.
Light, man, this so many times he's just been caught walking around. And AL will take that mistake every time. Rift Herald, they're going to switch up. Oh, Tarzan going for Tian. They realize he's the crux of this as they want to try to get him down. Now the focus turns on to Xiaohu, and he dies! The Tiger King of Spring is down, and Rift Herald goes the way of AL. From everything that Weibo had built for themselves, now a 3,000 gold lead for anyone's legend.
Why did Xiaohu right-click back? He tried to auto-attack it because of the Ivern Q. Hung is just dead here. Okay, maybe he just gets out. But look at this. They got the Herald. They're going to take mid-tier 1. Shanks gets alone time on this top tier 1 as well. They're going to stop his recall. Even more cheeky from them. This will be another turret going over to AL. 5 grubs. They're going to get a massive injection of gold. And that's before the Dragon, even before the Otacon here. Lennon, I got to say, there's a lot of mechanical errors we're getting out from Weibo.
Man. I just wanted a good
So-
series, dude. Like, I just wanted this to live up to
AL
it.
are
It
playing
feels so
good.
bad to see Weibo perform like this. And Light is a carry that knows that this is not a good play, right? Like, he is a guy that realizes that, like, this should not happen, and then everything else that happens is just dominoes.
I mean, look, why, Xiaohu, why? And then, look, at some points, especially for Light, you probably just got to get escorted out of mid. Because you know, look, they're probably waiting for me. They can jump over this bush. We're playing on the top side of the river. They're going to be entering from the bottom side river. So just playing with a little bit of lack of respect as to where Weibo or where AL can be started is now Hung trying to get out of this, but too many slows, too much time, and Naz might be completely routed.
Oh, God. Oh, Weibo, we're going to have to commit to this. TP's coming in, but that is a bold one. Xiaohu immediately has to flash away, and the rest of AL are going to collapse. A big bullet time coming through, but the Crescent Guard blocks so much of it, and now it's just AL's free dinner. They are feasting on the corpses of Weibo. The veteran team squatted this one. Shanks will be the new one, as Shanks is finding massive performances on the Sakali, and AL are just absolutely destroying this game too. 7,000 gold in the lead.
Shanks is throwing knockout punches on this Akali, and the rest of AL might be looking at Xiaohu like 5 stars. Here's a couple hundred for you to look at, as we are just completely wiping you out of this game. We're going to take a look at this replay. It starts with Hung. Again, we said this at the top of show. Hung's, one of his criticisms he's just too far up. He gets picked out before fights. And what happens here? The rest of Weibo now have to scramble to be able to kind of get around him, maybe protect them. And it makes a really awkward fight. I mean, the best part of this is the fact that Breathe gets a really nice equalizer. But between Crescent Guard from Tarzan stopping this bullet time, and then just the re-engage from both Kael and from Shanks.
Dude.
It is just completely game over here for Weibo.
I mean, I thought that Shanks had the Nurse Akali skin on because that was clinical. I mean, he absolutely just ran in there, hit every single ability, and wiped the floor with Weibo. Xiaohu trying to get an entrance onto this dragon take. This will be second dragon for AL in their stacking condition. But even if Weibo have that scaling win condition, even if they could buy even more time, it still feels like things are getting a little bit dicey for them. Kael getting caught, fate sealed. Now Xiaohu locked down though. Xiaohu! He's not going to go down that time.
Oh,
My
no.
God, he got close. And AL don't lose a single member there. They end up getting a pull back on a Hug, and Hope is starting to light up the sky. 5-0 and 5 on this Ezreal, and he is turning it on. Tian will end up taking away that red. And Xiaohu trying to find an angle now. Kael low. Tarzan flashed on by Breathe. Breathe all by himself. Your team has abandoned you, bro, but you still got 2 kills. Somebody give Breathe a relief check.
7,000 gold, even again 5 grubs. Hope is completely unchecked here on this Ezreal, and he's just firing away. Now the solo lanes of Anyone's Legend will take another turret. Hung is now on a solo mission, man. He's like, guys, I gotta get vision. I gotta make sure that we can at least pretend like we're going to contest for the Otacon. And Lennon, I gotta say, really impressive stuff from Anyone's Legend so far this year already. Please, Hung, don't die again. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me.
He's gonna die. Yeah, I just don't know what, like, I really would be curious at what the comms are like in these plays from Hung. Like, I hope at least, like, some responsibility is taken, but it's tough in the moment. And now you have Atacon at the eyes of AL. Not much to do for Weibo. They're looking on the precipice of starting off their Ascend group stage at 1-3.
Which is really tough. Again, they play 18 series, 4 of them already done after this. And, I mean, the fact that they are having a pretty tough time kind of closing out. Oh, my God.
Shanks is just sidestepping everything.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I will say for Weibo, you know, some of their schedule was pretty tough. They played against TES. They took care of business versus TTE. But the fact that they lost to FPX is really hampering their schedule. Again, playing against AL, it's hard to say that they would be expected favorites. This is a matchup that we are looking for AL to dominate and to win at the very end of the day. But from a team of this roster, when you look at this lineup and you kind of look at the pedigree of these players, we just expect so much more from them. And so far, Split 2 has not been kind to them outside of the placements.
Placements, you know, you just go off that performance, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Hung, unfortunately, getting caught out yet again.
I don't know what to tell you, man. This
I want to see
this
how he
all
snipes
started.
him here.
This all start. Oh, he got. What do you mean? He got hung? It's because he pressed W. Yep.
Boop.
EQ dead. I thought he was kind of just trying to stave ult to maybe try to snipe out Xiaohu, but he didn't actually have vision as to where Yone was. There'll be another turret falling, and yeah, Ledin, I kind of wanted to see this Weibo comp go really far. Oh, wait a minute.
Hope. They did get a bait seal. Hey,
yes,
they got him. Let's go. TP on the back.
Teleport behind.
Weibo, they're not out of this one just yet. The Hex Gate isn't going to go through for Kael. He's just left out. Will end up going down. Shanks is on a flank here. TP had come through and push coming out from Weibo in mid lane. They want to recoup some of that 7,000 gold deficit, and they're looking to do so. CC chain onto Tarzan, who pops the crescent guard. Will be able to walk away from the turret, but the turret's going down. Daisy says, no, you don't. Come back here, bub. As that's another one down. And Flandre trying to flank up now and save up this turret, but it's Weibo looking to make a crucial push in mid lane.
How much more can they get off of this? Oh my god, Flandre, we're just flashing
turret.
for this. Tian almost goes down. You even had the burns from the Leandres this entire time.
No,
Shanks, 5 grubs. He's got tier 1. Oh, breathe. Oh, no. Okay, just take this last turret. Oh, wait a minute. The Ezreal ult? Does it land on Tian? He barely lives. It's the inhibitor going down in top lane for AL.
Dude, the fact that they got the burn for breathe on the already warmed up turret. Oh my god, that feels so bad. They did end up losing that inhib. They do end up getting back, and Light gets his back stuff while Shanks is just dancing on people.
Felt it though, right? Like Shanks was like, do I just flash ult this guy? Do I just end the game right here, guys?
He could have. He had the choice.
And this was the one Q to save them all from Tian. Somehow lands onto Hope. We get an instant connection from Xiaohu and from Hung. You get right into the bullet time. And then they just trail 3 kills back to back, right? They pick out on Kael. They move into mid lane. They get an objective bounty from taking this mid-tier 1. But then they just overextend. Again, not matching. And I didn't even notice this at the time because I was so focused on them taking not only this turret, but that was actually 2 turrets from Shanks. He got the top tier 2, the inhibitor, and the actual inhibitor turret. So a lot of gold earned for this Akali, and now a Baron being started in the picture-in-picture.
Weibo had an opportunity. They did some lasting damage there, but now back onto the map, back to reality. Oh, there goes Gravity. He got a little bit of setup around that Baron, and it is going to be taken by AL.
Don't even care about this dragon, guys. Like, just walk into these waves.
Just walk it in, baby. Just
walk
it in.
We can go top lane if we really want to. We can hit
Kael.
this mid lane, but we're just engaging.
He just goes in, man. Shanks is going to find Light here. Nothing to do as he's in the middle of his entire team. He's going down. Shanks goes golden by time, and Flandre comes in and splits Weibo between worlds. Nobody dies. A clean ace for anyone's legend, and a 4-1 start, and the duality for Weibo.
See you later, Weibo Gaming. It's been nice, it's been good, but honestly, this game has not been either of them for you, as you're looking at a 1-3 start in Group Ascend.
What a play, what a series from anyone's legend, as they will take the 2-0. They will make it a 6-0 day. And you'll love to see a team this dominant with this much praise behind them actually execute. That's the expectation that is wanted from AL.
All I gotta say is 6-0 day. 6-0 day.
You're right. I just want you to know the reason why you say it's a 9-0 day is so you get the 6-0 day. It's all mind games with the LPL. You get
Lennon's like, it's not enough that I helped create this project. I have to take credit for when we get a 6-0 day as well. Nice, dude.
I'm just saying, I've been around the LPL for long enough that I know if you bet for the opposite thing, that's always what's gonna happen. You know, it's just You always have to know. No, it's incredible though to see anyone's legend have performances like this, because again, we came into the day we're saying they can choke anybody out if they perform well, and they did it in two very different styles with their comps.
And you have to imagine, we're talking about like the first round robin kind of coming. We're around the halfway point for a lot of these teams. You look at their strength of schedule. They go up against TT next, WE. So assumably they're going to be able to take those series. We're already seen some upsets though. And then JDG. That matchup right there. I mean, undefeated
banger,
JDG,
man.
hopefully by that time, is going to be a big test for whether or not AL really are those top dogs here in Group Ascend.
Because I feel like people still doubt this team. Like, even if we saw some incredible performances from them in the first split, even if we saw dominant performances from them to start the second split, they still seems to be that communal doubt of this team not maybe being in that top 4 echelon. But to me, they are. And it's just trying to find that consistency to make sure that people realize that.
I think the problem for me is that there are just some players that just have really off games. Like Tarzan on that Maokai the other night was was a stinker game, unfortunately. You think about the Shen game he had in playoffs last split, that wasn't great. I think sometimes Shanks has games where he's invisible. I think of like a lot of Azir games that he's played so far where he doesn't have the same impact that we would have wanted from a mid laner in that game. So. And sometimes Hope and Kael, they just don't, like, they had 2 games now where I think a lot of things went really well for them early on. So that's not always going to happen every game, especially against some of the better bot lanes, even if we're talking about just domestically. So I think if AL can beat JDG, I think that they have proven themselves. They've basically beaten every other team in the top at one point or another here in 2025. I know top esports is starting to grow in terms of a rivalry. It's getting back over to TES's favor. But if they can beat a JDG then, I think that's like the last kind of like, all right, you guys have earned your spot. You guys are 100% one of the best teams here in the league.
It's a curious time to see who is bumping elbows at the top of Group Ascend here. Still a lot to prove, it feels like, for anyone's legend. A lot to prove for Weibo now, who find themselves in the conversation of being one of those bottom teams in this list of 10. A lot of room left to give. Obviously, we said 18 best of 3s, but it's still something where you need to be taking wins, and now you've taken 2 consecutive ones that are pretty tough to handle.
Yeah, again, I'm looking at the train schedule. Lose to FPX, which was a bit of a surpriser, but their next matchups, NIP, which unironically could now go either which way with how both of these teams kind of have like Jekyll and Hyde performances. And then they got a JDG matchup. That one's not going to be fun. If JDG are still top dogs at that time, then we're looking at a massacre there. Then we need to talk about WE, man. Are they going to win a game? Are they going to win a game? Because they are currently 0-4. But I guess we could talk about that then. I don't know. This Weibo team, just so many things going wrong for them.
It is tough. It's tough when there's a lot of no names on the team, too, and you're just like, what isn't working for them? But turns out it might just be many things compounding to make it that much worse. Again, I think this will be the last I harp on it because I think we've talked about it a little bit too much. But Hung definitely having a series of all time, but a couple of series that have been really rough from him.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna bag on him. I got my licks. I got my licks during the show. So.
It's just I have to watch back through the plays.
He knows what he did that game. Okay, I'm sure he knows. I'm sure Light was not happy with what got happened to him. Okay, there's a lot of things that occurred against. But Light too, man. Like, as an AD carrier,
Light lost his mind twice.
I would too. My support is griefing me. What the, like, I can't focus. My support is Alistar trying to cancel Rel recall under the turret and dies, ruining the lane, and suddenly Akali TPs when I try to catch the wave. No way. You can't ask me to be serious.
Oh, man. It was, it was very one-sided towards the end there for sure. I still really like the comp from Weibo, but yeah.
Yeah, of course, I did too. I mean, I was the one that was saying, yeah, we're going to a 6th game here. Like, let's do it. I want to see it. But they didn't execute. I feel really bad for Tian, but there was also just a lot of weird timers.
Yeah.
Like, even Xiaohu, I know that we were kind of bagging on him as well, but he really needs to get into form already, because there are just so many games, like, getting owned by Satab, like, what, like we're getting owned by Care? Like, dude, come on.
And technically, this is the spring split, so this should be when he's at his strongest, his peak of power.
But we stopped doing that, remember? Because he no longer had to play with Uzi, so he's like, okay, I can actually, you know what, I can actually pace myself throughout the year, right?
I can actually play, you know, the entire year really, really good. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case, though. And, again, we look to try to see that utility come out from him, that direction come out from him in these games. But still more praise delivered towards AL. And we have to think who is going to get that MVP for this game as well. I think you can give it to multiple members. I know before we went into that screen, it was definitely Shanks leading the votes in terms of the percentage. Do you think the Akali gets it again?
He played this game really, really well.
He had so many fights where he just did miss an ability. Like, it was
nuts. I think it has to be Shanks, man. And honestly, I think it's really exciting for a player like him who, to be fair, has had kind of a middling successful career. Like, there was a long period of time where he was kind of like a middle-of-the-pack mid laner. Wasn't particularly special, but wasn't like a huge detriment to a lot of his teams. But this year, I mean, the level up of just having a player like Tarzan on your roster, right? And then also having other players like Flandre who can, I think, you can lean on for expertise and just, I mean, just talk about the game, I think is awesome.
There you go. It is Shanks. Can get his first MVP. Stepping up on the Akali. I think that that last game also deserved of some definite praise for his positioning on the Talia and the setups for him. But the Akali, it's what gets the kicker. And 3-0-8, but a lot more influence in those fights. As a great performance from Shanks against Xiaohu, against the guy that Tarzan said he could be the next iteration of.
Lennon, I need you to stall. I'm making the graphics for our group standings right now. I need you to stall so I can make this for us, guys.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll be getting that one up here pretty soon to get that one all fixed up and ready to go. Thank you, Alk, for doing that live on the broadcast itself. But it has been a very interesting turn of events because we get to play games every single day and a lot of best of threes, especially towards the weekends, which will be calming down moving forward. I think we only are going to have like three best of 3 day moving forward in the rest of the weekends, but it's still every other day of the week playing 2 best of 3s. And a ton of games to play still in Group Ascend. Still feels weird to go visit the island of Group Nirvana that we get to see play like once in a blue moon, it feels like. But we have
it does.
best of 3s for each team to play in Group Ascend.
I thought they were going to be done already, not going to lie. I kind of wanted to see them front load all those games because I don't know how you feel about it.
End the season
unironically, yes. Let them get them out of the way.
Let the team fire people earlier. It's fine.
We have 2 teams that are unironically leaving after this split. Like just do it, bro. Who cares?
Just do it. Just leave it.
Okay, I have the graphic. I'm downloading it now.
All right. We're gonna get that one up here so we can get a little bit of a catch up on.
If it's wrong, blame someone else.
If it's wrong, blame the guy that just did it live on broadcast.
Not my fault.
It's fine, but he's a goat.
Wait, I did get it wrong. Wait.
Well, hopefully that would fix that.
I'm getting it. I'm locking in, guys.
You're doing great.
You guys don't understand. Great. Okay, I got it now. Okay, I fixed it.
All right. We'll get that one going up here.
Keep going. I
believe in you. Mickey the Goat's going to upload that and get that going here hopefully shortly. But it is an Anyone's Legend who is now contesting that upper echelon that we said. Because remember, you always have to remember in Group Ascend, the top 4 teams automatically make it into playoffs. An important boon for any team, but there's a lot of big names in this 10-team roster of Group Ascend that are vying for that top 4 slot.
Yeah, especially when we're talking about our top 4. Oh, hey, it's updated! Yay!
Let's go.
Again, top 4 immediately getting into playoffs, like Lennon just said. This looks vaguely around where we have it. I think the fact that Team WE is above Weibo is a bit problematic, but
TT should be 10th too, but it's fine. It doesn't matter because they're 10th place.
Oh, true. They're 1-4. Crap.
They are
All
1-4
right, this game sucks
now.
anyway.
It's okay. It's fine.
They have less game differential, so actually, yes, they are 10th and FPX are 9th. I'll fix this later. Whatever, man.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I think the general gist of this is just that I am very scared for what our 5th through like 7th looks like.
Yeah.
Because this could be a lot of teams that people weren't expecting. I think an NIP is very reasonably slotted there. IG, depending on what form we get on the day, could be there as well. BLG have already shown that they're faltering in terms of draft, in terms of coordination. So really anybody could take this 4th spot.
Yeah, which is just so crazy. And that's why I love this so much. And in the other event, the other teams get to go play more games in the playoff play-in, which will be a lot of fun to watch anyway. So maybe looking to get more experience under their belt. But we are still in the smack middle thick of things here in the Group Ascend stage, Group Nirvana stage. So many more games left to play. We did have a short night tonight, only 6 games across the board and a 3 best of 3 night, but it was an absolute pleasure. Before we get going, though, got to give a huge and special thank you to our Elite Coffee supporters, Aaron, Soup, and Mung. Thank you so much. Your pledge contribution helps level up the broadcast on a daily basis to pay for all the volunteer efforts we have from across this giant team that we've created, to all those broadcast package updates that we've get. And if you want to be a part of that awesome elite group, please go subscribe to our coffee, and please go support us on YouTube, where you can get access to awesome content that we'll be putting out. Alk, it's been a pleasure. Mickey, the prod behind the scenes, thank you so much. And tomorrow we'll be back with more LPL action. We'll see you then.